Hey everybody, it is September 12th, 2025. This is Off the Ledge. This is the time that I set aside every morning, usually in the morning, to read to you some spiritual material, to talk to all of you about what's going on, and to give us all a sense that we're in this together. And we'll talk about it even again at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Friday, and we are Friday Night Live, Psychic News Network, every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here. I just returned from the mayor's office. The reason I was at the mayor's office was because on my morning walk, I noticed all the flags at half-mast. A little side note about that. Sometimes people try to correct saying half-mast as opposed to half-staff. I grew up in a nautical community. As you can see, the harbor is right behind me. To me, it's half-mast. Anyway, so I went for a walk, and I saw all the flags. The Vietnam Memorial that have all the facets of the military, the Army flag, Marine flag, Coast Guard flag, and all of them. Marines, all at half-mast. The POW flags half-mast. The World War II memorial at half-mast. And I was really trying to rein in my rage that the flags were never at half-mast for any of the gun shootings of anybody else. But, and I'm not going to say anything about how horrible it is to murder somebody. I mean, if I have to say, oh, and I think it's really terrible that Charlie Kirk was murdered, if that's not just assumed that I think that that's horrible, or that if it's just not like assumed, then where are we as a humanity? Of course, it's unspeakably horrific what happened to that man. I really want us to be all on the same page. This is my fervent desire in my heart. I want us to be on the same page with all knowing that gun violence and murder and assassinations are horrifyingly horrible. Okay? There might be just a very few exceptions, and that would be the most murderous dictators ever to just stop the murdering of millions of people. So, I mean, we can say it's a complex subject, but it really isn't. It's bad. And to have the flags, to have the federal government, quote unquote, demand every state fly their flag at half-mast, which is what I was told by the mayor. It was under the order and the direction of the federal government that we fly the flags at half-mast for one individual who happened to love Trump. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with every state just bending the knee to fascism. And I made my opinion known, and we're friends, so it wasn't like, I mean, it's a congenial conversation. And I called Seth Moulton, our state rep. I could call the other state rep too. I called Elizabeth Warren's office, and my stance is, if it's for all the victims of gun violence in this epidemic of gun violence, that the flags are at half-staff, okay, great, fine. How about that? But we don't have a person in the White House right now. We have a criminal in the White House who's squatting in the White House. We don't have somebody who has compassion and care for others at the forefront of his mind. We have self-aggrandizement. This is wholly inappropriate, and I'm going on about it because it's important. And I'm begging you to call your representatives to speak out against this. Tell them this is what I'm doing. Tell them that you would like for the message to be, and for them to make a statement that the message isn't about one individual who got gunned down by a gunman. The message should be about anybody who gets gunned down by a gunman. So upset. I was thinking of my dad a lot this morning, like, I know he's with me. I can just hear him going, now don't get all upset about it, because that's what he would always say, because I get so riled up. Really, he's still saying it. Ernest Holmes. Ernest Holmes always calms me down, but please, please, please do activate. Please don't let this go by without making your voice heard. Charlie Kirk was a guy with a huge social media presence that touted, opinions that I just thought were heinous. That's not even the issue. Calm me down. The flow of pure spirit always pervades our consciousness and environment. Today we hold our thought steadfast in the realization that divine life is flowing through us. We believe in the fullness of the bounty of God. There can be no lack in spirit. Spirit now inspires us in everything we do, say, and think. Realizing that God is the animating essence of all life, that God withholds nothing from us, we prepare ourselves for a life of joy, love, accomplishment, health, and well-being. We permit ourselves to believe in the divine freedom that is our birthright. We know that the law of good keeps us in perfect activity, surrounds us with love and friendship, and causes us to experience the joy of living. It causes us to impart to everyone we meet an atmosphere of confidence and faith that uplifts and enlightens. Today we permit the flow of pure spirit to enter our consciousness, to radiate in our environment, to bless everything we touch, to make whole that which is weak, to turn fear into faith, and to accomplish the miracle of love. Regarding that last phrase, to accomplish the miracle of love, I offer you this. It really strikes me that Charlie Kirk's organization was named Turning Point, because we can see this as a turning point for us being united against this epidemic, absolute epidemic of gun violence. It never ends. We can make this a turning point where we come together and find common ground. We have too many guns and we need to do something about it. And I mentioned before, I feel Charlie Kirk on the other side. We have life reviews on the other side. Kind of, wanting us to unite. And by the way, he had a debate scheduled with the Pro-Democracy channel, Adam Mockler's channel. He's under the Midas Touch umbrella. A lot of you know Adam Mockler, young guy. I think he's like 22. They were scheduled to have a debate. So I feel that if Charlie Kirk's soul has a say, I really feel that his say would be, come on, you guys, come together. I really do. I'm not talking about his earthly plane beliefs. I'm talking about his soul. I know it's a stretch for a lot of you, but I'm just going to stand by what I feel. Here's Kathy Beal for today.
This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for September 12th, 2025. Great optimism today. Even if you logically cannot figure out why you suddenly feel like things are better and okay, go with it. Look for the silver linings. Look for the sun in the sky. Instead of saying no, say, why not? Ask, how could this be better? Let your mind expand, expand, expand. Be open to even bigger and better possibilities than you previously dreamed could be. Engage in the old Abraham Hicks game. Wouldn't it be fun if, fill in the blank, no editing, say anything, as long as it's positive.
That's the end of that I want to mention that Kathy records these a couple of weeks in advance and sends them to me, so she didn't know that there would be an assassination of a right-wing social media guy. And I would like for the takeaway from today's Off the Ledge to be that we all think about, even though the certain evil forces are calling for civil war, how about we have that backfire on them, and rather than a civil war, they get the American people unite. I love that idea. As I look at our angel holding the American flag. Let's just hold that in our vision. Let's work towards that. It backfires, and rather than creating more hatred, it creates more love. Can you please pass that on? I really love that idea. And the astrology lined right up with that. 3 cards to guide us. Make sure you're not alone. Make sure you talk to people. It's really important. Possibilities is coming up. It's possible. What I just said is possible. That this is the turning point, the irony of ironies. This is a turning point for the American people to unite and do something about all these murders. Senseless, ridiculous murders. I do feel like innocent people being gunned down is going to be in the limelight in terms of things we need to deal with. And there are possibilities in the political arena for us to find common ground, at least on this topic. And see how that light is shining down on the politics? Interesting. Let's visualize it that way. A healing light. I will see you tonight. To book a reading, go to psychicandetdion.com. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And members, when you hit the join button, you can become a member. Pay a monthly amount, and you have access to all of my courses. Once a week, I'm recording a segment of how to read tarot. So check that out. It's under members only, under the videos. Okay, I'll see you soon. Namaste. Keep the faith and don't be alone. Okay, bye.